Hello everybody and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB and we're here for a lovely one. Tonight is the Singapore Grand Prix, but first, before anything, let's go through the drivers' standings because it's all heated up after last week. Now, G. Jonas is back in the lead of the championship, though he's not alone because Farfborough and him are tied on points with 141 points each. That is magnificent fighting. And only 10 points behind them is Lienel. The championship is really heating up. In P3 would be Matey Boy, but he will get onto him soon. Then it's Smelly Badger in P5, and then there's Ricky in P6. Diabush is in P7, and the Devil's Armpit, also I'll get onto him in a minute, is in P8. Gaby Things is in P9, and Sophie, unfortunately, we'll get onto her as well in P10. In P11 is Zippo, and in P12 is Blood and Sands. P13 is Racer, P14 is Mike, P15 is Sigard, P16, I don't remember how to say anything, is Spark Bobster, and P17 is Racing Podge, P18 is Alston Senegal, and P19 is Pro Oliver, P20 being I'm West. So, let's look at the Constructors' Championship because it's all looking very German, because Mercedes are in P1 ahead of everyone else by quite a margin, 238 points ahead of everyone else, which is massive. We should have AJ joining us in a minute, and we'll hopefully have his input on all of that in a moment. Let me just get the stream up on my pad. So the point is, Mercedes is on 238 points ahead of Sauber, who have 194. Then Red Bull is in third with 184, so 10-point gap. Toro Rosso is in P4 with 175. Williams is in P5, with 132. Ferrari is in P6 with 120, and Renault is in P7 with 115. Haas is in P8 with 97. Force India is in P9 with 60, and McLaren ending up the field in P10 with 34. So AJ should be joining us now. As I said, as we come here, Connor has joined, so Connor will be starting for the back to new Mercedes driver. Yes, okay, let's join the elephant in the room. There's only one Williams here tonight, one Mercedes, which will be Connor, and one Ferrari. Well, one Ferrari's been filled. That is because there was accusations that Sophie was lying about who she was as Blaz MK, the new Ferrari driver, comes on track. Now that is not true at all. Then the accusations came from Matey Boy and the Devil's Armpit. They upset Sophie to a point that she felt that she didn't want to race in the league anymore, as she was upset with the comments they were making, and that caused, well, a lot of heartbreak, because everyone knows that we love Sophie here. We think it's great that Sophie's here, and she's a great laugh. She's nice, she's kind, and she's playful. So, in act of fairness, the admins removed, from the rest of the season, removed Matey Boy and the Devil's Armpit, who both accused her of lying about herself. Here at SFR, we don't have a problem with anyone of any gender, any sexuality, anyone. We don't ask personal information because we don't want to know. There's no point if we want to know. There's no point wanting to know all of that information because this just doesn't apply to our racing. So that is the big elephant in the room. If you didn't know, Sophie was no longer racing with us due to that, and she's decided to focus on her uni work. So wish her the best of luck in uni, and hopefully she will come back to SFR in the future, or possibly some other projects that SFR is currently working on. Now that I've got that rather downer out of the way, Singapore is a Grand Prix circuit which is ripe with history right from the start, controversy and all of this. Got a message from Connor saying made it for the race, no idea what car I'm in, and that's obvious. That's just a mistake. Well, not a mistake. That's timing wise, just a little bit of an error. All right, Darren. If you could send me a message privately about that, I'll have a discuss about that later. So yeah, if you could send me a message on Darren, are you on PSN? Do you have me on PSN? And if that is true, I'll handle that. But yes, there's a lot of a lot of things happen. So Singapore Grand Prix is steeped with history, as it always is from the start, filled with controversy after the Renault of Nelson Piquet decided to barrel roll into the wall, and that caused, well, a lot of controversy. I mean, it would cause controversy too, because it caused his teammate to win. Ever since, as you see, oh, nice and wide for Blaz MK. Ever since, it's been quite a Grand Prix which everyone's looked forward to, a track which is more fun than Monaco, yet is still under the same street circuit, and it was obviously Formula 1's first night race, and now SFR is coming charging in as always. So, little sip of my water as we're looking at the Ferrari of Blaz MK, the new Ferrari driver, who is looking happy to return to SFR after I think a small spell of not being here, but he's got the Ferrari drive now and he's happy about it, coming through the monstrous Singapore sling now into turn 8 now. What a move. We saw Senna and Massa pass there a few years back, and we're hopefully going to get AJ in soon. We've got Mark saying love this track. Yes, Sparky, yes lad, it is a great track, and he's looking, it's all going to be very interesting. We're all happy to be back here in Singapore, and I'm really excited. So we should have AJ joining us in a minute. I'm just going to... DRS fault already, says Lee. Oh, no! Lee's come out on track in qualifying and his DRS has gone. Well, Toro Rosso heard that Toro Rosso were bringing upgrades to this track to try and improve the downforce. It seems that they've glued the rear wing on too tightly. And Yeet says my dear friend. Ah, yes, we all know that. So Blaz MK is the fastest man on track right now with 1:57.8 as he comes around the final corner. Now you look at C-Pazzi. I'm just going to close the stream and reopen on a different account quickly, so I realised I'm on the wrong account. Do I have it on this one? I don't think I do actually, so oh yeah I do, sorry, I do have that, so I can see that. So C-Pazzi goes at 1:39.6. Then it's I'm West coming round the clipping the wall, which everyone clipped. He's about to cross the line, he's looking very confident, and he goes second at 1:39.1. Blaz MK in an absolute rival zone right now. He's looking very comfortable in that Ferrari. He's very happy with I think this is going to get very interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, who's going where. Here's Oliver. Oh, a little bit wide there for the Williams driver, but he seems okay. The 32 car, woo, we're almost hitting the wall. Smelly Badger now going to P2, but Racer 555 annihilating Blaz MK's time. 1:37.8. Wondering where our dear Pippa is, and we'll see what she can bring up. So, crossing near... She. I love how I just called AJ a she. Oh, man. I'm going to get done for that later. Pro Oliver goes for a 1:39.8 versus Zippo, who's coming around the final corner now. That's Toro Rosso looking very stable as he crosses the line. That's P3 for Zippo. The 34 car, 1:38.9. Is that 8-0? Can't even read numbers today. It's horrendous, honestly. I can't read numbers. I don't know what I'm on about. My voice is breaking. I'm essentially going through puberty at this point. So, here we're on board with Ricky. Ricky, our race winner from last week, I believe. He says, now worried about where he's got to check the chat. I think he has. I think he did. He had a nice fight with what's his name? With what's his name? Who was it? Sophie? Yeah, Ricky is the newest man to win a race in SFR, though he hasn't won a lot of them now. He's in fourth with a soft time. So the tyres we brought this weekend are the ultra soft, the hyper soft, and our dear friends, the softs. Here we are on board with Gamey. Gamey bailing into the pit lane. Bailing into pit lane. It's like slipped through several accents there. Let's have a look at Lee Nell with that DRS fault. Has that resolved itself in the Toro Rosso, or have they been unable to unstick the glue, which is going to really affect his time? Where is AJ in all of this? We shall see in the future. Should check all of everything that may happen with all of that. So, blood and sands and Racer making. Oh, that's horrendous. That is a grid penalty for the current provisional pole sitter in Renault. Something must have happened in the pit lane. Something's gone wrong there. Steve saying he slammed on his brakes going into pit lane. That has cost Steven big with that. And I think Racer is going to be very upset with that. Racer, can you confirm whether you are upset at that? Here's Podge creeping into the pit lane. Not sure what Podge is up to. Is that McLaren? Oh, he's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Okay, that's really not what we want to see from SFR, because he's on the main straight now, and his AR is completely blocking everyone. I'm unsure what is happening with some of the drivers right now. Was he out of fuel? Yeah, he's out of fuel. Did he get stuck or something? I don't know. Racing Podge is out, though, of qualifying here in Singapore. And let's hope that we can have AJ join us before the race. Stephen not happy. Obviously, that could decide the pole position race for tonight. And Racer looking incredibly fast around this track. Here's T. Jonas in the Sauber. Last year, he had a few issues. Last year, the biggest issue, though, was a lagging McLaren that completely destroyed Lee Nell when he was in his Williams team. It ripped off his rear tyre, and he sent him into space. Everyone was very upset with that incident. So another sip of my water as T. Jones comes through towards turn 8. He's trying to get that all hunkered down, all happy about that Sauber, and he looks happy. Whoa, trying to get it round there. It's not happening. It is happening even for the Sauber. Sauber had a good race in 2018 here in the real Formula 1, battling with Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc, obviously. But Marcus Ericsson, I don't think he had such a strong race, and to be fair, neither did Brendan Hartley. So it could go either way with the Sauber or the Toro Rosso teams, depending on how the aero packages work on this track. We're just going to keep an eye on, see if AJ will join us. He might need another invite to the party, that's the thing. So TJ coming through. Havlaw has got his eyes on pole. Is it going to happen? It could happen. It's been a particularly messy lap by the looks of it. A few stop-starts, crossing the line. He does! Oh, that's incredibly close for the Norwegian. Look at that! What a gap there. I want to find out what it is. Let's have a look at the gap. The gap is 0.05. And with Stevens' grid penalty, that will plant him straight on pole position for this race. And I'll tell you what, everyone looking excited. Here's Lee Nell crossing the line. Is that DRS open? DRS is not open on Toro Rosso. Something's wrong with that Honda, and it's all gone wrong for him in P9 with no DRS. Well, at least it's not affecting his laps too much. So I'm just going to reach down and unplug my Alexa, because I don't want her to wake up midway through. That's charging, that's charging. Try and find the charger cable for my phone, because I was a little bit rushed getting on here. So I wonder if that's AJ messaging me. But yes, keeping our eyes on everything. Everyone very excited to see what Singapore can bring. Our first street circuit since Monaco, and our last one of this season in SFR. And season 3 is going quickly, and I will not dare to say it. This has been the best season of SFR ever. It has been a fantastic season. We're looking at Lee coming through the 72 car, trying to get it all lined up through turn 8, where his hero Massa overtook Bruno Senna in 2012, I want to say. Not 13, might be 2012 or 2011. One of the two. It was a great move. He was pretty much sideways. And Lee, that might have invalidated his lap there. No, it hasn't. He's still going on strong in his Toro Rosso. The little tractory Toro Rosso engine with the Honda in the back. Oh, that was very close to the wall there for Lee. Now going through underneath the bridge. The only track with a grandstand there. And here's Pippa. He's joined us.
Finally.
How's your mic? Is that set to share?
Mic set to share, and internet is set to please don't turn off.
Alright. AJ struggling with internet recently. Lee now bailing out of his lap with 6 minutes to go. Are you in the lobby, or do you need some more invites to add the Alpha Dyer?
To add to the 7 invites that you've already given me.
I gave you 5.
Oh right. No, I just kept on receiving invite after invite after invite.
I counted them. I thought it'd be better to do them now rather than space them around. Smelly Badger on track now ahead of C. Pasley, who's reserving the Renault. In the Renault? In the McLaren. Here's AJ to the Pippa. How's Susie? Just on a completely different subject. She alright?
Yeah, Susie's good. She's put a deposit down for a new flat.
Ah! She more pissed at me. Pardon my French, but is she?
No.
Good, because as Ricky goes fastest now, making us even more awkward than normal. So let me fill you in on what's happened. I've had a long talk with the stream about the incident with Sophie and the other drivers. As we're looking at that, we have Connor, who is in the lobby. He'll be placed in a random car, and he won't be doing qualifying. Racing Podge was disqualified for blocking the pit lane. I believe he was out of fuel. Blazin K has just crashed by loads of it in Sector 1. Racer has been handed a 5-place grid penalty from when he was on pole position from an incident in the pit lane with blood and sand. Are you all caught up, AJ? Did you make notes?
Who's Connor?
Connor is the new Mercedes driver. He reserved last week in Force India.
Okay. Is he in this session?
He is in the session, but he missed out on getting to qualifying just yeah. Turned up just at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. It's good to be caught up. I've made notes.
So everyone is looking nice and tidy. Here's Farfra. Oh, and AJ, do you want to hear the championship fight right now? The top 3 in the championship.
Let's hear it.
We have T. Jonas in P1 with 141 points. Farfra in P2 with 141 points. And Lee Nell in P3 with 131 points. So either way, this race can go any way possible.
Yeah, that's incredible. Very close. Looking forward to it.
It really is, and I think the season is only just heating up. We have left Europe and we're now heading back to Asia, nearly to where we started, actually, isn't it? We're around that area. Many Australians go to the Singapore Grand Prix, as I've heard.
They do. Yeah, Singapore is not far from Australia and kind of New Zealand and around that area.
Singapore would be great. The thing is, it's so hot. I wouldn't be able to go. It's too hot for me.
Yeah, it is very hot. It looks like a lovely place to visit. I'd quite like to go there as well at some point. Good food. Good
food, says AJ, immediately thinking with his stomach. Versus me, I'm thinking about racing cars and helmets, but you know, that's the thing. Aha! Mark saying Bentley is shown up, I see. Getting it all mixed up. Yes, there's how was your internet? Did you have a word with PlusNet?
I have it's more to do with, so I've got a TP-Link, which is an internal through the electricity.
Oh, sorry, you put me to sleep.
Whatever. Through the electricity internet. It's weird. It's to connect my LAN cables without having a 15-meter Ethernet cable down the stairs.
Farfbro only managing P4 as AJ decides to bore me to sleep. Here's Dyer, who's not in a Ferrari helmet. Well, this must be his helmet choice for this weekend. He was in his career profile, so by the looks of it, he drives a Renault now.
A Ferrari helmet, did you just say?
No, a helmet. I've had a lot of that today. I've had a lot of people going, what did you say? Am I just not able to talk anymore? Which is really a troubling thing in my line of work, isn't it?
a Ferrari helmet?
A Ferrari hammock, the new deal from Maranello. Farfbro retiring Sector 1. You have to pay a lot of money to get it. Plus, you only get it without a spark plug. Yeah. That joke failed. That joke died quicker than anything. It's because in Japan, Ferrari's spark plug went. Their spark plug went.
Right,
that cost Vettel the championship. You want to say in 17?
Yeah, tough crowd. To say on that one.
Yeah, I can learn some impressions, so it always gets a laugh. I could do everyone's favourite one. Valtteri. This is James. As Diabush seems to be winding up to start a new lap. Gaming thing is starting another lap. He has struggled to set a time yet. With our 17 drivers here for qualifying. The last minute has begun of qualifying. Twitch underscore CSO. Oh, damn it. COS Ricky. That name is so long. Is currently sitting on pole position. Yeah, I know. But sometimes I like to say the full names.
Oh, okay. Right.
So when I say Invader Zippo. Or that Toro Rosso that's ploughed into a Wallow. He won't find that funny.
Don't jinx him. Yeah, don't jinx him.
Actually, if I say they crash, they normally don't. So.
They normally don't. Zippo for the win here.
AJ's pick has already been done. Here's Ricky, who's currently sat. Design West, different Haas. He's sat in P8. Can he improve on this lap? Lots of people going for different tyre strategies here, isn't it? Yeah, he does improve.
quite interesting.
See, I missed doing Singapore in the upper league. I missed that because I was away doing another one. I think it was the World Endurance Championship I did when I was marshalling that. That was a fun day. Really advocate doing that. See, Pasley decides that he's had enough of qualifying. Gamey Things is currently struggling behind a Ferrari, as per normal with every other car that's behind a Ferrari. It's so red I can't see. Who's that? Sorry.
The Welshman is on a good lap so far.
Just a singular Welshman now. He won't. He doesn't even. He doesn't deserve a name anymore.
It's just called the Welshman.
That has to be his new Twitter handle there.
At the sheep.
Oh, Gamey Things annihilating both Diabush's lap and T. Jonas's lap there for the final lap here in qualifying, and the top three. I don't know. T. Jonas is still on a lap. He's about to come around the final corner now. This could be make or break with the championship leader coming across the line now, and he goes fourth. A good lap there from the Sauber. Oh, and Lee's on a lap.
Nice.
Oh, where'd Lee go?
Maybe into a wall.
No, he went up. He went up the. Yeah, he finished the lap. He went up.
We will see.
Lee had a DRS fault through most of qualifying, from what I know.
Okay. I hate that fault.
Well, Toro Rosso brought an update. Here we are with the grid standings. We have Ricky in P1. Racer will not be in P2. He'll be in God knows where. Racer is currently in P2, but he has a 5-place grid drop. Then there's Blaz MK in P3 and T. Jonas in P4. Farfborough is in P5 and I'm West is in P6. Gaming Things is in P7 and Diabush is in P8. Desley Nell, he's in P9. Spark Bobster is in P10, and outside of the top 10 free tyre choice is Zippo in P11, Smelly Badger in P12. Blood and Sands in P13 and C. Pasley in P14. Pro Oliver in P15. Racing Podge being disqualified, starting from almost the back, with Connor starting further back.
I think the guys who are outside of the top 10 have gone the good. They've done a good strategy. Some of those guys can probably get into the top 10, but they've opted for the ultra soft tyres to start the race on and tried to sneak into the top 10. But they'll do better, I reckon, from further down the grid because of the fact that they don't have to start on the very high wearing and high temperature hyper soft tyres.
Well, I tell you what's very interesting. Connor coming in, signed by Mercedes in the week to replace Matey Boy, as the safety car is having a bit of fun at the end of the pit lane. He has been placed in the Mercedes, so the game definitely liking Connor. But also, can you see the safety car having a party at the end of the pit lane?
Oh yeah, I can. It's having a proper little jiggle.
Are you excited? Are you going to be used? Are you going to be used? Are ya? So, Ricky leads us away in the formation lap ahead of Blaz MK. Let's go through the full grid because we have T. Johns in P3 and Farfborough in P4. I'm West should be in P5, but he's overtaken Farfborough on the formation lap. And then in P6 is Gaming Things. P7 is Racer, after citing a P2 lap, has been dropped to P7, and I'm sure he'll be upset about that. P8 is Dyer, and P9 is... Well, no, P8 isn't Dyer, it's the sheep, and P9 is Lee. We need to stop with the sheep jokes. P10 is Spark Bobster, and P11 is Zippo. P12 is Smelly Badger, and P13 is Blood and Sands. P4... Oh, who's very laggy. P14 is C. Pasley, and P15 is Pro Oliver. P16 is the other McLaren of Racing Podge, and P17 is a newly signed Mercedes driver in Connor. Ooh, exciting. Let's have a look at the tyres. Look at that. So, one driver out of everyone out of the top 10 has gone for the Hypersoft tyres. That'll be Blood and Sands, the laggiest Scotsman on the grid. He'll be going from P13. In that situation, you've just got to gun it, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting for the guys who are starting on soft tyres, because the fact that their tyres won't warm up as quickly. They'll be a bit kind of strange. They'll find it a bit strange turning into corners because they won't have as much grip as the other runners. So they just need to watch their front wings, watch the wheels don't pop off on the walls. But if they can get a good first stint in, they'll be very quick towards the end of the race.
They definitely will, and this is going to get very interesting. This is your first time commentating at night, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Blood and Sand's leaving a session about how laggy he is. I think he's decided that's enough for me. He's seen that, so everyone from P13 down will up themselves up a little one position on the grid, and we see the Singapore Airlines, and this is going to get very interesting. Singapore, a race that never disappoints as we get ready for 5 red lights of possibly the most controversial Grand Prix in Formula 1, barring Azerbaijan. That is true, actually. Azerbaijan was quite controversial when they first proposed it. Because it's still a dictatorship, isn't it?
I can tell you.
All right, everyone clipped in for 5 red lights here in Singapore. Ferrari in second. This can only go well as the lights are out. The drivers are going now. A good move from a Red Bull in the background. It seems that everyone's flying into T1. It's a brilliant start from Ricky. Look at that. And then his wide for Blazam K. He's absolutely cut turn 1. That will be a penalty. Oh, Farfra's round! Farfra round at T2! He's in the wall, and Farfra, that is all gone wrong for Red Bull. Not the first time in Singapore that's happened. Here we're on board with Iron West. He's been passed by Gamey Things. What a start from Gamey, up to P4 from P5. Everyone absolutely streaming through. It's all getting very messy. There's a Ferrari in the background. There's Dire Boost passing Racer.
I'm just trying to work out. Somebody went into the back of Blaz MK out after the first corner. Just trying to work out who's lost their front wing off him. Because I think some debris must have flown somewhere.
We have a Ferrari round. That's Dyer. Dyer is round. He's been spammed by someone, and it's a hefty into. That's with Racer. A big collision between Racer and Dyer is going to be swearing in many different languages. I don't think Welsh though. So, Connor down the inside, he is bunched off! Pro Oliver, that must be net connection there. That is unfortunate from what we saw. Let's look at my little replay camera. It's, remember, guys, there's only lap 1. I think that was net connection. I'm not sure, and I have to have a look at it, but Oliver won't be happy about that. Now Blaz MK has got his eyes on Ricky. These two are possibly the closest guys on track. These two. These are very, very closely paced as well, actually, aren't they?
They're very close to the back of Racing Forge and C. Pasley close to the back of them, both with no resonance of their front wing.
Blaz MK is in second place. He cut the chicane, which has caused him again major oversteer in the Ferrari. He is suffering with that. A stop-go penalty for Farfra. It goes from bad to worse. So the man in second place in the championship. It's all going wrong further down as well. Everyone getting very close together. But Blaz MK already with a time penalty on the first lap. You don't want that at all, as every driver hits the wall at the start of the DRS straight. Looking at gaming things, seeing if he can close up to T. John. It's not happening so far. Let's have a look at C. Pasley. He's on the back of Smelly Badger. This can only go right for C. Pasley. He's looking at him. He's trying to go down the inside. This could happen, but he decides not to. So AJ has muted his mic because he doesn't like me anymore. Blood and Sands is in P14. Oh yeah, you're back. Hello.
I was just quiet. I was listening to you.
You were listening to it. Oh dear.
Even I'm entertained by your commentary, mate.
Really? It's on lap 2 and that's already started. Remember, folks, this is the longest Grand Prix on calendar, on timing wise, not on track wise, on calendar wise, corner wise. Oh, very close. See Pasley to the back of the Renault, almost hitting him. But everyone seems to be all right so far, don't they? Well, barring the big spins.
Yeah, they all seem to be kind of patient, waiting for an opening, waiting for a mistake from the guy in front of them. Yeah, the top 6 seem to have calmed down. They're quite close to each other. Nobody's getting away, but and Iron West making a massive mistake there. Lino right on the back of Iron West now, going down the main straight. Iron West has completely overheated his tyres. The Hypersofts have gone.
Already, it is lap 3 here.
So it's gone.
Oh dear. Smelly Badger has been passed by both McLarens. Whether that was down to contact or not, we have no idea. He has a stop-go penalty. There is damage on that Renault, and I have received a radio message from Racer as these two are getting very close together. Lean out around the outside onto the DRS straight. He will have that boost, and there it is. The DRS working this time. And now Spark Bobster is trying to go down the inside of Iron West. Sorry, is it going to happen? It has not happened yet. West is able to defend. That's Connor.
Oh. Very close to the back of
Lee's about to pass. Blazonke left him. No room there whatsoever. And Lee is going to lose a position. Connor is in the wall by the looks of it. No, he's not. What's happening here?
MK was in the wall. MK was in the wall.
Oh, the Ferrari in the wall. Oh, he's gone off. Something's wrong with that Ferrari. Something is horribly wrong. He retires on track. That is not allowed, Blaz. You are reminded of that. That could. Connor is out too. Connor at the same place. Major incident there. Connor has been crashed out. Is that a safety car? No, it's not. Come on, game.
I don't know whether he crashed out or he just kind of lost.
Virtual safety car has been deployed as Blaz and Connor leave, and that gives us a moment to assess what's happened and read out the radio message I got from Stephen. So Racer has come onto the radio to the Renault team, and he said a bunch of amateurs on first lap, stupid drivers. I mean, it was a bit silly that first lap, but drivers.
It's a bit hectic.
Yeah.
It's a street track, so you've got to be more careful than any other track on the calendar. But yeah, it's just all kicked off a little bit. Hopefully it'll calm down from now on.
It definitely has. This is where we flash up the Jolyon Palmer meme of you have to be alert on a street circuit, then Monaco. But that is yeah, it's very difficult to think. This is Singapore. There's more passing opportunities than Monaco here. It's more fun, in my opinion, but this does happen quite a bit in Singapore.
Yeah, absolutely, and you've just got to be really careful. I mean, you saw on the outside of
green flag, mate. Green flag.
6, 10, 7 that Blazonke just completely lost it. I don't know whether he had wheel issues, but he just couldn't turn in tight enough.
Sector 3, we have a yellow flag, but we're back to green flag racing here in Singapore, and we're looking at West. He's trying to get past Spark Bob, so Sparky had made the move before. Sector 3, what is that yellow flag? Is that Dyer? Well, it's all gone. Now we're looking at West. West incredibly fast. He seems to have sorted out his lag he was suffering last week, and he's having a look at trying to pass Spark Bobster. I can see my phone's already lit up, and I think I'm getting messages all over the place. No, nothing yet. West is in the slipstream of the Force India. It's not happening yet, and I tell you what, Lee's getting very close to the background too. Racing Podge getting a time penalty of 3 seconds. That will be added to his time at the end of the Grand Prix as he gets very close to his own teammate. Will there be team orders from Zach Brown calling down to whoever the hell is managing McLaren at this point? It's clearly not working. Get a new manager. AJ is free. Well, ish.
Lee now coming up to the back of Gamey Things now. Gamey Things just seems to be a little bit slower going through the second sector. He doesn't seem to have as much downforce. Look at Lee Nell's pace through there. He's almost beside him by the time they turn into the first corner.
I don't know if anyone heard there. I was cheering massively there as Lee goes down the inside. Controlled driving from both of these wonderful gentlemen, but is going to lose a position to his own teammate if he's not careful. And Gamey doing his best to defend from his teammate and try to get back. Oh, something happened. It looked like West has hit Spark Bobster, who has hit Gamey Things, who has suffered now with broken front wing. And that will be a very long message from the Force India team to Haas saying, why do you have to do that? You will pay for my new wing.
I thought Gamey Things was just going to close Spark Bobster out on a straight there, but yeah, Gamey not giving a lot of room to his teammate. He still wants to stay in front of him, even though he's struggling.
This is the battle from P3 down to P7. There's Zippo. Hello, Zippo. He's closed into everyone else, and it's all getting very interesting now. This is what Singapore's all about, to bottle up the racing, but keep passing opportunities open. That is why it's better than Monaco. I will not change my mind. Here is Racing Podge. Oh, he's almost into the back of his teammate. McLaren's almost collide, but he is able to get on the brakes enough that the 66 car did not hit the whatever number C. Pasley is, can't remember. Back to Force India now. AJ, take us through what's happening with Force India.
Force India seems to be having a bit of a kerfuffle at the minute between each other. That's meaning that I'm West and Invader Zippo are able to close up to them. Zippo doing very well on his soft tyres, just biding his time, being patient. And he's got a very good strategy going for him if he can get past all these guys once he's switched his tyres.
Something's wrong with that Haas. The Haas pulls into the pit lane. Those tyres are done. They're finished. And now Zippo's unleashed to go after the chasing Pinks. The Panthers are going at each other. This time, down the inside. Oh, but there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Who is that? There's the green flag back out. Was that Lee? I don't think it was. No evidence of it being Lee at all. Now Spark Bobster is getting frustrated by his teammate. He knows he's got the pace. He knows that Gamey's a hard racer. But now you got to think Otmar Safma will be sending out messages saying let him through, and it looks like he has. But look at that.
Gamey right on the back of Spark again. Obviously not happy that he had to let Spark through, but Zippo just getting a little bit too wide there.
We're up on the helicam right now. Everyone's getting very excited about the prospect. But look at that. The prospect of pitting off... obviously, Blood and Sands will not be in this race due to the fact he decided to bail out. He knew that the drag was too much. But look at the...
close together as well.
Yeah, but what I'm attempting to say, because I can't remember how to speak... excuse me, is... Look at the issue of pitting off strategy. I'm West has pitted early. He's way down in P13 now. Let's have a look at the McLarens. They're just... it seems that Podge is faster, the Swedish driver, but he can't get past Pasley, the Irishman, which is the best combination I think McLaren's had in a long time. Sweden and Ireland. They'll thank me for that one. Well, you know, it's better than spraying in Britain. Okay, AJ has left us. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, something's happened. T. John's in the pit lane. T. John's hidden. Same with Gaming Things. Two drivers are in. And Spark Bobster promoted to 3rd place right now. Here is finally there going to be a move for the McLarens. Is Racing Pods going to be allowed to overtake his teammate? No. The note going through is saying do not overtake your teammate. And I tell you what, I don't think Racing is too happy about that. I think Podge is trying to think I have to pass him. He's been given the notice not to pass him clearly, but it's driving him nuts. These guys in formation in P5 and P6 ahead of Pro Oliver, who's in P7. This is all very exciting here as we're looking at the two McLarens. So, C. Pasley defending from Racing Podge still. But look how much quicker Racer is. Racing, sorry, not Racer. And there, C. Pasley going a little bit offline. Is that going to open the door for Racer? Racing for Podge. That's it. Trying to remember his name. Podge is who we're looking at now, as I don't know who what I'm talking about now. Podge has got his eyes on P5, and this is driving him insane. You can clearly see he's getting frustrated. This is him telling Pasley to let him through without being in a party chat. The reserve driver who took over the McLaren seat tonight for, I think it's just Mikey in that McLaren seat. He is, sorry, not just Mikey. Who took over from McLaren? I don't remember who took over from McLaren, but C. Pasley is reserving there, and he's trying his hardest to prove that he can have another drive if he so deems himself fit to want one. But Podge is getting frustrated. Diabush is now the fastest man in P15. He's also the fastest man on track as Spark Bobs are getting close to Lee Nell. This is all getting very interesting as Pasley is up close. We have an issue in Sector 3. What is that? That's further back. Time penalty for Gamey Things. Who had a spin? Was that Gamey? I'm not sure. Something happened in Sector 3 and I didn't see it, but now it's all heating up in Sector 1 because Pro Oliver has passed T. Jonas, but now, no sorry, T. Jonas has passed Pro Oliver, but now Lee Nell is coming under increasing pressure from Spark Bobster. Spark Bobster lining up a dive bomb, but he decided not to go for it, but he has hit the back end of the Toro Rosso. A little bit of a nudge, no damage flying off that car, but I tell you what, this could mean anything could happen right now with Spark Bobster being in P3, currently stopping Toro Rosso from having their first double podium at SFR for a long, long time. Okay, Blood, mate, if you could do me a favour and not do that in the chat, please. I understand there's a bit lag, but it seems that McLaren have let their drivers swap, and Racing Pods will now try and streak off into the distance. We'll try and keep the arguments in the chat to a minimum, mate. Obviously, you know that Racer is racing right now, but nice to see you in the race again, Blood. Hopefully you're alright, and thank you for deciding that it was too much. Excuse me for a moment, but that was that was Blood and Sands obviously deciding that that the race, it was compromising the race for everyone else, and that is a very mature decision from Blood to have to step away from this week. The Red Bull car is going to be sat in the pit lane, but look how close they are. I think Lee's tyres are starting to give up now, and I don't know if AJ is going to be back in a minute or back in God knows when, because I need him now. Now this is all getting very intense. I need my AJ. Alright, so see Lee very close on the straights, very close by Spark Bobster. Spark Bobster, here's AJ. Oh, it's all heating up, mate. Look at P3.
Ooh, very close there.
He's done it.
As you know, go around the outside. Yeah, Lino just doesn't have enough pace to keep up with Spark Bobster.
So,
for it, Sparky there tonight.
Yeah, Sparky showing off now. Toro Rosso will have to decide whether they... Oh, look, a driver swap! A straight driver swap between the man who's third in the championship and Zippo! And there's the thank you from Zippo. What a call there from Toro Rosso going, look, my tyres are done. Go! Just go. What a move from that team. Yeah, that would have been my team.
Very good. Yeah, very good sportsmanship there. I think
oh dear!
will be a good excuse to go after the Spark Bobster and maybe upset it a little bit.
We have a yellow flag. We have Smelly Badger is out in the Renault. In your meantime, while you were off, I assume, having a cup of tea, the McLarens have swapped, and now West is on the back of Gamey Things. Sector 1 and 2, and Farfra is gone! And Smelly Badger left the section, but Farfra is out of the race! The man who's second in the championship, who goes from bad to worse bad to Alexander Verst for the Red Bull driver, I just can't talk, I'm going to give up. For the Red Bull driver this afternoon. Oh my goodness me, that is actually opened the championship up massively as he leaves the session. So now see Pasley very close as AJ appears to be running with his microphone. Are you being chased again?
Yeah, sorry. I'm running from my PlayStation.
Whoa, see Pasley very wide almost. If I had gone a little bit further, he would have been in the wall, but he's alright so far. Now, West is on the back of Gamey Things. These two battling hard. It seems that Gamey has the edge over West this time. I don't think he'll chuck it up the inside here. We've had a fair few retirements here, and Blood and Sands is obviously a retirement as well. So 12 people remaining here in Singapore. Had to remember not to say Monaco for a moment there. It's almost too close to call right now. I don't know which way it's going to go. Ricky looks very confident in P1, but obviously he still has to stop. Now, West down the inside of the Force India. What a move there. But Gamey isn't going to give it up. They're getting very close together. The 23 car. Oh, was that pushing him off? Or do you think that was all right?
Sorry, I was watching the McLaren.
See, there's AJ looking at it whimsically, thinking McLaren will be there next year. We can hope. All we have is hope these days with McLaren. But Gamey Things passed by I'm West, and now here's the charting after Racer, who is currently sat in P8. So I'm going to take a sip of my pint, which I'm almost done with. Oh, that's nice. It's good water, actually.
Those are the two main battles going on the track at the minute. It's Gamey Things and I'm West. Racing Pods keep making mistakes there. Both of them seem to be struggling on those harder compound tyres, soft tyres.
They are, and we saw that earlier on in the race, Podge was struggling to get past him before his teammate let him through, and then now it seems that Podge has not got the pace that he hoped. He thought he could just streak away, but it looks like he hasn't managed to, has he?
Yeah. And we'll see when we go into the pit stop of Ricky whether the lead catches him up.
This is... No, nothing has pitted yet. No movement in Toro Rosso or the Haas garage, so we could see either way. Obviously, Lee and Ricky, both race winners. Sparky and Invader Zippo. they haven't managed to make it to the podium as much as I think they hoped in this season. Now, there is a McLaren move once more. Racer letting his teammate through. There was a call from the team saying, just get him through, mate, you're not quick enough. And this time, the McLarens, who need to start, just at one point they need to just decide to sit in formation, don't they? And just keep pounding out laps as best they can, because they're just losing time trying to fight each other.
Yeah.
Because look who's in the background is the championship leader. With his Sauber fin up in the air, da-da, da-da.
Yeah, and he's next second as well. Like he's stopped and gone to the soft side, even though it looks like on screen he was working on the soft.
Very good point there, my friend. Very good point. I would have said he was on the ultra soft tyres if you hadn't pointed that out, because I'm terrible at looking at things. So, Racing Pod has got his eyes on P5 still. I think he's just trying to pound out laps at this point, you know? Maybe he's pitting this lap, that's why he let him through. No, he isn't. Oh, but someone is, it's Lee! So the Toro Rosso biting the bullet first out of the top 4, and he decides to pull in. What tyres did he go on? They look like soft tyres on that car. They are. Drop down now. Will Ricky react? Ricky has to react, doesn't he?
I mean, I think he's got a healthy lead between him and Spark. I think it'll be questionable when if the oh dear, I'm not doing very well, am I?
You're not doing as well as me, are you? I'm doing terribly.
If the drivers don't get behind him, it's going to be questionable to see whether he actually comes on track or not.
McLaren once more swapping the drivers around, which is completely screwing over T. Jonas. He's sat here thinking, for God's sake, pick which guy had to pass first. They'll be swearing at Norwegian, and I think that he's going to try and swing round. I think he managed to make a deal because he's currently at a summer camp or winter camp or whatever the hell they're called, a sports training camp. That's the word I'm looking for. He's currently at that, so he must have made a deal. This is a sport. Can I do it? But the Alfa Romeo car is struggling to get past that McLaren Renault. It seems that McLaren Renault has not got a power as they would have hoped this year. Well, we already knew that anyway. Spoilers, this is the last game. Zippo on the back of Spark. Spark's tyres are fading. I would not put it past... What? It's raining! Wow! That is the worst point for Lee, isn't it?
Yeah, and T. Jonas. He's fitted as well.
Trying to go down here, trying to see Pasley. See Pasley turns into him. He didn't see a good angle there, but it looks like he did turn into him. But very good shout there from AJ. I didn't notice that it was raining. We have a wet race in Singapore. This is all gone. Very season 1 here.
I just saw the splattered glitch. Recently I was like, rain.
See, you see why I bring AJ in. He knows a lot more about this game than I do. Now, TJ got the dive bomb, trying to force Steve Pasley off the McLaren shadow. Is not moving. Wouldn't it be great if McLaren did split their liveries this year and had one orange and one black for the shadow?
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. That sounds good. We like the cobalt blue. Completely on deliveries. Completely ignore the race that's going on. Just straight to deliveries again.
Yeah, well.
Oh well. Hopefully Lando Norris keeps his helmet similar to the car, and see Patsy cutting the corner, gaining another time penalty. Now it's if the rain will get wet enough for drivers to start to struggle on the dry tyres, and Lee Nell must be thinking, ah dear, I pitted the absolute wrong time for this one. But I tell you what, for all their faults, McLaren are currently helping each other right now with the DRS they're giving, but the rain... Being at night, you can't see the clouds. That's the issue. So, and you don't see the rain as well on track. But it is starting to come down heavier now. Oh, that's 6 seconds worth of penalties for Lee Nell. This is all could start affecting his finishing position later on. Oh, but see Pasley. See, Pasley's gone a little bit deep. His tyres are starting to wear. And T. Jonas on the inside of the final corner. What a move there for T. Jonas. And the rain is coming down in Singapore.
Yeah, this might make a lot of difference just on newer, fresher tyres. Made that look very easy.
Racer is struggling on those tyres. I tell you what, let's have a look up at the leaders quickly. It seems that we're actually on board with Zippo though. He looks like he's starting to think, okay, I've just got to keep pounding the other laps. We weren't told there was going to be rain, as that's why you saw I got very excited. Speaking of Lee, here's the other Toro Rosso on the back of Gaming. These two are battling hard earlier on in the race, and look at that. Look at the difference in the tyres as Racer passes C. Pasley. Sector 2, we have a yellow flag. It's Racer. It was Podge. The McLarens have tangled. That's not something you want to see. With the McLarens have tangled somewhere, we have yellow flags. Was that Lee in the wall? Something is happening in Sector 2.
Both McLarens without a front wing now.
And that has got, has it? Yeah, that is all gone badly for McLaren. And T. Jonas having a little bit of a lag sign, but it's all okay. I'm getting messages all over the shop, so AJ, if you could just take it through what's happening right now as I have a read.
Yeah, of course. So, made Zippo quite close behind Spot Bobster. Looks like they're going to have a very good fight. Spot looks like he's running out of tyres, running out of ultra soft tyres now, but it's wet enough for anybody to pit. So, pitting for another set of dry tyres is out of the question right now. They've made Zippo falling with strategy inspection so far.
It could be Sector 3. We have a yellow flag. That is Podge again in the wall. Ah, he's stopped to let drivers through. There are puddles as we go towards the bridge. There are puddles now. And this, I tell you what, this has just got very, very fun. Singapore is a deadly track in the dry, let alone in the wet. And Podge is in the worst position. West is in. Is that intermediates? Intermediates on the Haas.
Already, it's going to be DRS off anyway.
Ready, steady, it's going to happen now. It might be hidden by the penalties right now, but I was really hoping. But Zippo has passed Spark. So Zippo in his best position right now for a long time in SFR. We had the blue flags, and that's for the Ghosted car of Blood and Sands, and everyone getting excited. Now, I don't know what's happening. Who's where, because Lee seems like has gone past the pit lane, or yeah, he's gone past the pit lane once more, and he is not stopped. Maybe this is a call from the McLarens, and well, the McLarens because of damage, and oh well, Oliver's going as well, so he must either be reacting to the drivers in front, or for oh, very close there for Spark, or he's been told to pit for the new tyres. But who's where? Is it going to be Lee who is going to get priority for being the man who's ahead in qualifying, or Zippo who can get priority in the pit lane? This can go either way, and there it is. That's the telltale sign. It's too wet for the dry tyres. And Ricky's in. I tell you what though, AJ, this is a difficult pit lane, isn't it?
It is, especially in the wet. The game is alongside Racer.
Lee has a broken wing.
Oh wow, so that's why game is so much quicker. But both struggling a lot in wet conditions.
Has that sparked the end of Lee Nell's race there with a broken wing?
Ricky getting out perfectly there. He's timed his strategy to back ultra soft tyres onto the inters. Fish back off. This is the end of the race, really.
Well, we can hope that maybe it'll dry out in the next couple of laps, or you know, he can always do that. But rain is falling now, and Lee is going to be thinking, no, what could have been here in Singapore? And this could really be that every one of the top three in the championship could not be on the podium. This could get very interesting because Ricky is only 60 points behind. Oh, I don't know what to say. This is mental. I almost swore there, to be fair. I did almost swear. I think you understood what word I was going to say.
Everybody in the pit lane. Everybody onto the intermediate should step at the right call. If any of the teammates halfway.
The rain is coming down heavily here in the Yas Marina, in the Marina Bay circuit. Yas Marina we're going to later on. And oh, Lee is still, he's just come out of the pits, he's on fresh tyres with that new front wing in P9. Still points for him. Are you eating?
No.
What have you got? And can I have some? Man, why did I get some? Did Susie not bring me any?
It's just doesn't. It's not like fun.
Can I not have any?
Chip shop top tip. If you go, ask for Hannah, then they cook your bread.
Really?
That's the top tip for the night.
Did you used to work at a chippy? That's why you know it.
No, that's what my parents have always done. They always get haddock and then they can crash.
AJ's random absolute rubbish trip. Well,
You want a hot fish?
yeah, you do. That's why I always go for scampi.
Yeah, scampi as well.
Yeah, we've got. How British are we? We're commentating over a motor race. I've got a pint of water, though normally it's a pint of something else. Lee is currently in P9. Not sure why I mentioned Lee. And AJ is sat there with fish and chips. We are incredibly British right now, aren't we? Oh well. Where's my tea? See, at least it was respectful. I was sat there. I heard a few clicks. I thought, what was that? Is AJ drinking or something? And he's just.
I'm trying to be quiet in the chat.
Oh well. He has. We spilled the beans. AJ now eats fish and chips on the comms, but you know why not? I wonder why it's got a smell in the commentary box. How did I not notice that? I stood right next to you. Disappeared off. I'm genuinely miffed that I didn't notice that before.
I've got onions as well. Another top tip: onions stop the smell. Especially when you onions, you've got to cut onions out.
Is that why the stereotypical French person has onions random?
I think that's vampires, isn't it? Oh no, that's garlic.
I had to say that as I selected a racer in P5. So, back to the race before we suddenly get in trouble. It's very wet here, but could it be wet enough for the extreme wet tyres soon? It doesn't look like it's coming down, but remember, at night, we don't get to see the wane. We don't get to see the wane as good as we could. I've just got to be a toddler. Next week, if you so want me to, I will do the entire commentary stream a toddler JB. Which was very interesting because normally I spent most of it going, I like my cats.
Gp2-year-old.
There we go, the new division for next year in SFR is GP2-year-olds, where the children of the racers will take over. So AJ, better get cooking. Or was that what I meant? The spray is starting to come off the back of the McLaren now. I see Pasley. And everyone's very... Well, they're further away from each other. Now, in this situation, if you know it was raining, unlike we did, do you think they all would have gone for wet setups? Or do you reckon some of them are on dry setups and just can't catch in these weather?
I think I still would have gone a dry setup because I still would have wanted to be quicker at the start of the race. And kind of... let the chips fall where they may, because the fact that sometimes you get wet races, but they won't necessarily go onto the dry, or go onto the full wet tyres, like the intermediate wet. They might just stay on the ultras, just create enough rain so that it's raining, it's a bit slippery, but not enough rain to stop the DRS, forces changing to the wet tyre.
Can I just say you had the chips fall and I really resisted you to go over the fish, yeah?
Yeah, they are.
See, I'm looking over now and I want one. I had a horrendous lunch today, it was horrible. Yeah, well, I think yours was better than mine. Mine was chicken on the bone, but you had to go digging for the chicken. That's how bad it was. I had to go looking for it.
I don't like chicken, but I had pasta ready meal, or not ready meal, like a lunch, like a pasta salad.
Was it from Sainsbury's? Because other shops are available. Was it from Sainsbury's though?
No, it's Morrison's.
Oh, see, those ones are bad. Sainsbury's ones I don't enjoy either. Here we go. We're discussing lunch now in the middle of a motor race. Again, British.
The only sandwich I like is the chicken bacon stuffing.
Yeah, good shout there. I think Tesco's is the best sandwich. But right now, West is coming under a little bit of pressure from Racer, so we'll keep you updated on the gap there. It's very interesting as my brother is slamming his desk in the background. I'm going to go over there and slam him in a minute. No. Let's try that again. I'm going to go over there and hit him in a minute. Don't advocate bullying. I'm just going to retire at the end of this season. This season's been nuts. So everyone seems to. That's the thing is, it's just okay, we got arguing in the chat right now. I just gotta make the.
Are they arguing about nothing?
No, they're arguing about the incidents. 1 second, race going on. Please don't DM.
Like closing up in 5th place. West seems to be struggling. Struggle with keeping those rear tyres cool for most of the race, even on the ultra side ones on them earlier. But now the race is starting to close in on West. It seems to have lost a little bit of ground after the mistake himself. It is very treacherous in these conditions.
It very is, folks, and that is that's how it goes. That is, it's very is. SpeedForce Racing is very is. Obviously, we remind all the drivers that I currently sound like a stock record not to text in the chat as it distracts other drivers who are racing. That can incur penalties. We don't like to hand it out, but please, just be respectful of other drivers, even if you're not in the race anymore. Okay. I don't like being mean, JB. I don't like it. All of the admin stuff when I've got to like tell people off. I really don't like it. So if anyone thinks that I take pleasure in that, I really don't. I hate it. No, I like being soft and gentle. I mean, AJ knows I'm a soft lover, aren't I? And now I'm gonna get flagged. And now I'm gonna get stabbed by Susie as well. Yeah, I was gonna say she'll stab me. Tell you what though, things are heating up, and I tell you, if you're curious about what else I do when I'm not around here, well, things are going to get much more interesting as the Grand Prix season starts. Can we announce it now, or do you want to keep it rather quiet?
Up to you. They turn out 24 next weekend.
This weekend, yeah. So, you know what? We'll keep it quiet, because I actually want to bring something up with you in a bit. Me and AJ are planning something, and we're definitely not planning that nude shoot that AJ wanted.
Yeah.
SFR nudes.
Rolex.
You're trying to keep it on racing at this point, aren't you? So it's starting to get a bit wet here in Singapore. A little bit wetter than normal. Let's check in with the leader. Here's Ricky. He looks alright. To be fair, he's got a 16-second gap. He's not really bothered, is he? He's just sitting there, controlled, isn't he?
I mean, he's pretty much controlled this race. Such teams on one sector ahead of Zippo. They're doing very well. It's got the race. Offside through the intermediate people.
Yes.
Pretty stable. Pushing too long.
The rain has definitely nullified this race quite heavily. Right now, Lienel is starting to close a little bit up on Gamey. Now, obviously, all drivers know, or at least they should know as they come under this bridge, it will be dry under here, so please don't power it, because you will just slide. But the best thing to do in these wet weather conditions, as I learnt from Mr. AJ, who taught me, Mr. Bentley, he teaches me a lot of things, namely how to look good in 30 seconds after eating fish and chips. But he taught me that in the wet weather, you turn your diff all the way down to 50, and you get a little bit more control with the rear end. Yeah. I mean, I did hope that the get look good in 30 seconds after eating fish and chips would get a better look. But I was in a shop today. I was reading all of those like health magazines, so I was bored.
Yeah, they're pretty boring.
Bought a mug though. I bought a nice mug though. It was quite nice. I'm going to take it into college tomorrow because I get coffee in my English lessons. So I'm going to have it turned around to not happy until I finish. Yeah, I got a new face, alright? I got a new face. Got a problem with it. Let's have a look. Who are we looking at? Let's have a look at Oliver. He's coming. Oh, Oliver into the pit lane for new tyres. Are these extreme wets? Oliver is in Williams. We're having a look at the white crew down there. Those look rather blue. They are extreme wet tyres going onto the intermediate tyres. No throw. Stop go penalty for the Williams driver. You know what? This is very reminiscent of one Williams driver that got another 5-second stop and go penalty after a very particular other driver got involved with him. Brendan Hartley and Sergei Sorokin at the Singapore Grand Prix. I was not watching the highlights. What are you talking about? I have an extended memory.
Okay. And also message in the chat if you were able to follow Jamie's training for right?
What was that? You have no idea what I said there, did you?
No.
Okay. I'm having a moment. I'm going off on tangents a lot recently. But in all of this, Lee has now got very comfortable and starting to close in on Gamey. That's a fish being eaten.
No, it's the prawn crackers.
You got prawn crackers? Why don't I get prawn crackers too? God! I got Pringles downstairs though, so I win. Other crisps are available. I have to keep saying that. Sponsor us, Pringles. We'll bring you racing luck.
Yeah, sponsor us Norris and prawn crackers.
So, in all of this, Lee is now the closest man on track to another driver. After a while of sitting there, he's decided, okay, let's try and get past him. Lee has got confident with conditions. He is now just over the DRS zone, DRS range from the Force India. The Racing Point car will try and defend its hardest, but we're not sure what's going to happen. We're not sure what's going to happen with Racing Point in general. But, everyone... I'm enthralled to see how they're driving. It seems at this point we're on lap 22 out of 31. Unless we go to extreme wet tyres, I don't think there'll be many more changes on the grid because everyone's pretty just driving in lean mix at this point, trying to keep it on the track.
Yeah, Lee's trying to get closer to Gamey. He's just struggling. It means that everybody's kind of like more pulled out. It shows, doesn't it? It shows how close cars are in speeds. It shows how close the drivers are in ability as well.
It really does, and we want the drivers to obviously get... Oh, Lee! Oh, he clouted that curb. West, though, is in the pit lane. Sparky's in the pit lane. This time, those are the blue tyres going onto the cars. So, the full extreme wet tyres are on. And Ricky is doing another lap on these tyres. This could actually determine the race. Lee going through as well, deciding not to hit. West actually going on normal intermediate tyres. Drivers are making split decisions. No one's sure what they're doing. And TJ has the Christmas light tyres. Oh yes, we've missed this glitch. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about the Christmas tree tyres, well, you're about to see them. T. Jonas' tyres are partly wet tyres and partly intermediate tyres. So, he's got the Christmas tree glitch. I love that glitch.
I don't have that glitch.
Do you not? Oh, dear. Spark Bobster is now getting... I think it's extreme wets. Look at the distance Spark just pulled on West there. I do think it's time for the extreme wet tyres. Look at the grip that Sparky's got versus everyone else. Less sliding. I think it's time for the extreme wets. It really is. I think it's time, but look at the difference now that West is making. I don't know which way to call. This is enthralling racing. West deciding not to take the dive bomb into turn 8. This could have gone either way.
Yeah, Ricky stays out for a lap. Again, I'll spot him the right call here. He's going to be quicker, it looks like. He is gaining on Lee now, but is he going to be able to get back to where he was before he pitted?
If everyone else pits, Spark is quids in. If everyone else pits, maybe Force India calling it right. If they do pit, and if they're testing it with Gamey, this could end up in... He could be quids in right now, couldn't he?
Totally, yeah. But,
Gamey carries on.
Let's see how quick the wet tyres are actually. This is
It has, and he is closing, but I think Lee, that could be down to the fact that Lee is in the dirty air of the Force India as well. Lee being the blue filling in a pink wafer sandwich. Bringing that joke back. Actually, that was that mistake from Sparky then?
I don't think so. I think.
Well, that's one there, isn't it? That's definitely one. So maybe the extreme wet tyres aren't as good as they thought it would be. But this has all helped Lee as he's now shot up another position. He could be just outside the podium positions if he's lucky. But right now, he dropped down a couple of positions due to his 6 seconds worth of penalties. He's trying to find a way and he can't do it, can he?
Sparky is starting to struggle now. He's got 8 seconds behind him also. Like he's struggling. Got a big gap back to see how.
Oh, Lee almost ploughing into the wall. He's all okay though. That was the quietest I've ever been on commentary there. So Lee is trying his hardest. I know it seems like we're just focusing on one driver, but he is absolutely there. He's so close to the back of gaming things, he can basically start rubbing the back of his helmet with his hand at this point. Look at his steering inputs there. So jerky, just trying to find that any bit of grip to pass the Force India. Eyes on the pink, and he's in. Gamey boy, that's a new name. Gamey Things Pits, and is that for the extreme wet tyres? It is, by the looks of it. Those are extreme wet tyres. Drivers are being called in now for them. So is that just Force India, or is that involving Haas as well?
Look at all the puddles in the pit lane. It really is starting to come down.
Oh, Sparky's in the wall! Sparky losing the back end, taking the side of his front wing off, and now I've gone all IndyCar commentator there, just completely cutting over everyone else, and I think that was just down to him not having enough grip on those tyres. Have Force India made a big mistake? Here's C. Pasley, who's also coming in. Yeah, big puddles in the pit lane.
Look at the rain coming down now, it's properly chucking down.
I think this is the first time in a while we've seen the extreme wet tyres, and that has to be possibly the worst circuit in the world for the tyres. The safety car still having his little party there in the corner. If you want to see that, rewind about less than a second, then you will see the safety car jerky a bit in the background. Though we haven't seen that being used this time. I need to stop talking to the safety car like he's a dog, don't I? I don't think he takes. I don't think he likes it. But Ricky is in. Come here! Good boy! Come out! Come on! Ricky into the pit lane for extreme wet tyres. It is now right. And I think if Spark hadn't have made that mistake and taken his front wing off... Yeah. Oh, hold on. Zippo's carried on.
Yep.
Has he given that position to... Has he given that to Lee? Has he got new pit? They had enough of a gap though, didn't they?
I think I do what Zippo has done, because he's now got the lead by 10 seconds. And we haven't yet justified that the wets are actually the quicker tyre.
Well, remember, Ricky... Go on.
Not doing well. Are you serious? Is my joking comment at the start of the race actually going to pay off?
This is enthralling! And I tell you what, we could see two Toro Rossos take their first wins in SFR in 1 year, in one season. Lee had it in Spa. Is Zippo going to have it here when we thought he was going to be out of the race? And I'm going to get fired from the other league now, aren't I? I am the press anyway. We are, obviously, I tend to not be an admin as best I can when I'm on commentary, but right now, I'm really thinking this could be... I don't know, look at West, he's still on the intermediate tyres. He's not exactly flying away from Sparky, is he?
Is, I'm West is, and Sparky just isn't
the gap's coming down at the top.
So
look at the gap.
Ricky's not finding it easy, and Zippo's going very easy. Got 4 laps left.
You're right.
Seconds a lap. I'm not sure whether he can.
This is insane. Podge getting a time penalty. Right now, Lee is, I think, down in P6 with his penalty. He needs to start breaking a gap. This is... I don't know where to turn. I don't know what to do. It's been a bad day for the championship leaders. Look at that. We've had Farfborough crash out of the Grand Prix. We have T. Jonas down in P7 and Lee now, who I think is just in front of him in P6 with the penalties applied. This... I think my joking comment is going to pay off with the fact that we could have no drivers who were on the podium, who were in the championship fight on the podium.
Yeah, very true.
Sector 2 and 3, that's Oliver going. We'll see if we can find out where he is. It's 2 and 3, so I think we're getting close to the crossover. Here's Blood and Sands Ghost. Ooh, spooky Scotsman. We won't have a look at him. I think the gap's coming down a bit heavier now. Look at that. The gap is coming down quite rapidly now between that. So I think the crossover point has come very late in the Grand Prix. I don't know what to say. Oh, this is the first time in a long time they've made me speechless in SFR. First time in a very long time.
Yeah, totally.
Stop.
Now. Catching very quickly.
So Sparky, look at that. Sparky's thinking, okay, my tyres are here. Let's play. Sparky's got his eyes on P5.
I think the wet call was too early from a couple of the drivers, but it looks like it's now starting to pay off.
It is, and obviously one mistake where you don't read the lap time, the lap number right of how long we have left, or one mistake showing that you click the wrong button on a dash, you can go into a wall, you can go into the pit lane and cause yourself too much harm. Right now, Lee is... I don't know if Lee's able to keep his P4 right now, is he? He needs to start losing time to Iron West if he's going to... He needs to start gaining time on Iron West even if he's going to get P4.
Yeah, definitely. But that just shows the 7 laps between them. That Lino's laps are over than on West. That's the difference between the Spark closing in on them as well.
It is, and the lead is 2 seconds here in Singapore. Keep an eye on everything, because at the end of this Grand Prix, we don't know who's going where. I'm running out of water. Maybe I should shove my hand out of the commentary box. Hang on, has the rain started to lift off now? As Spark goes into the wall. It looks like, hey, is it still raining?
Yeah, it's raining. It is lifting off a little bit.
Imagine that, if Zippo's going to be sat there wetting himself more than he already is, because he's got Ricky behind him, and then suddenly the extreme wets are not the tyres of choice.
Debatable. It is debatable.
This is... I don't know what's going to happen now. Ricky is struggling on his tyres. That car's rear end is snapping quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
See who's better on the straights. Lee... Oh, that's it. That's sealed out for Lee, isn't it? P7 for Lee Nell.
I think he got another time penalty earlier on as well.
Yeah, he has 9 seconds worth of penalties right now on the board. And now Zippo under pressure. 4 tenths between him and Ricky, the Welshman, wanting to get past. I believe Welshman. Oh dear, I'm getting it all wrong now. I think, yeah, Ricky is Welsh. There we go. He's trying to get past Zippo here. And Zippo is not going to give this up easy, is he? Sector 1, we have a yellow flag.
No, definitely not. If you can handle it, you should keep doing it.
This is a constant yellow. That's Podge in the pit lane. Was that Dyer passing? Not sure. Look at the launch as Zippo got off that corner. But is it enough? 5 tenths separate them. Is Ricky going to shove it up the inside? He's looking for it. He's trying to find the line of least resistance on the car. And it's not happening. Look at the rear end slip on that. He's just not able to handle it.
3 laps. 3 seconds. What? 3 laps left to go.
There he is.
3 laps that Zippo has to hold off. Or can he do it?
Oops, that's Racer. There we go. We've got a great angle now on the back of Zippo. His eyes are on that Haas. His eyes are on Source. The Haas is looking for it. Obviously, as we always say, it's one thing to pass, to get close to a car. It's quite another thing to pass it. There we go. I've just completely butchered that quote, but who cares? Zippo, this is phenomenal. I don't know what to say. I don't know whose eggs to put in whose baskets right now.
I don't know whether that's the quote, but you know.
Oh, it is now. I changed it. AJ, how long have you known me? About 5 minutes. You know how bad I am at quotes. On the brakes, I think Zippo has not got as much braking power as Ricky has. But big slide on the straight. Ricky has got it on. Zippo's got it on the straights. That Toro Rosso like a rocket. If he doesn't do that, oh dear. He's very close as AJ started running down to the Toro Rosso garage to get a quote from Franz Tost. What is the quote? I don't know. Okay, there's the quote.
Oh! Doing very well to just keep his car in a straight line, making sure that he's not making any mistakes whatsoever. But yeah, Ricky's starting to struggle a lot more now, isn't he?
The rain is coming. The rain's stopping, I think. Is it stopping? The rain has it stopped? No, it's somewhere. It's definitely. It's less in this final sector here. In the middle sector, I think it's more. That allows him to catch up.
Lost 4/10 in that sector.
2 to go. Here's Chico. Ricky's almost round.
Ooh, he did a good job to save it, but the car just didn't want to turn into that corner.
That's it. I think the extreme wets are out. I think it's time to go back onto the intermediate tyres. Now it's all on Zippo's shoulders. He's got to sit there. You've got 3 seconds to you in the car behind Zippo. I know you're listening, and you have 2 laps to do this. You can do it. So, in the background, Diabush, hello, we haven't seen him for a while, has got his eyes on passing C. Pasley, going defensive on the inside on the extreme wets. Yeah, that's...
Ricky's lost it. Oh, no, he hasn't. It came up on my screen that he completely lost it in the wall.
A little bit of lag there for AJ. I've just seen the effects of full wet versus intermediates, and Diabush just streaked past. West is starting to struggle. 7 seconds between Lee and West. Lee could still be in a shout with finishing there. Ricky is struggling. Those extreme wets are done.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I don't know whether the racer will be able to get anywhere near Ricky in these last couple of laps.
Podge is out.
Struggling now, 5.2 seconds.
Podge is out right at the end of the Grand Prix, and that is unfortunate. Oh, that's a big crash from Podge. He's right on the line, and that has got to be some form of penalty, not penalty, that's got to be some form of endangerment, but it's okay, because Zippo, for the first time in SFR, is coming round firstly to lap C. Pasley, who's really got to get out of the way. Yeah, but here he comes to start the final lap for the first time in SFR. He's crossing the line. Podge leaves the session. This is not long left. And this could be glory for Toro Rosso today in the wet. Oh, slide there for Zippo. But that's exactly what Toro Rosso do. They're the best in the wet. And it seems that for the first time, Zippo is going to have some fun without number 34 on the podium.
Are we allowed to do shout-outs on this channel?
I mean, you can.
Yeah. Shout-out to Finn Dodd. He's asked for a cheeky little shout-out. Friend from Bentley.
Oh, hello, Finn. You deal with him, do you?
He's watching us at the minute.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Sorry, I'm watching you. Shout me out.
Say hi. Oh, well, so we've had AJ's friend turn up right at the end to see Zippo, who is, for the first time ever, as West gets a penalty, for the first... Lee is securing P4 right now if he doesn't spin. But for the first time ever, and for the last time around this track, sorry, Zippo is coming round through turn 8. He's got 12 seconds. He can ease off at this point. He doesn't need to push. He can do this.
Such a tricky race, and he did very well starting on the soft tyres. Started outside the top 10, which I told you to watch, made sure to watch through the race, and he's not controlled it, but he's just been there and thereabouts. And that's all you need to do in wet conditions. When everybody else loses their heads, just stay focused on what you've got to do. He's absolutely done that.
He has now under the grandstand for the first time. I tell you what, as Zippo is friends with AJ, I'm going to let AJ take you across the line with Zippo.
Yeah, Zippo just coming around, final few laps, final few corners, and get ready for the fireworks as Singapore will have loads as he comes over the line, squirming all the way to the line, and there you go. Get in, mate. Absolutely deserved that.
Zippo wins in Singapore. I thought I'd take over for a minute and just go completely nuts as normal. Toro Rosso victorious in the final race, in the final night race of the season, the full one, the final street circuit of the season. Racer for the first time ever on the podium, and Linnell is gonna be the highest scoring person in the championship right now. This will put Lee top of the championship right now.
Look at that though, Linnell struggling all the way over the line.
Taking the Lando Norris line there. Taking the Lando Norris line.
Apparently so.
A brilliant day for Toro Rosso, and commiserations to Ricky.
Spark lost it.
Has he?
Have I lagged out? Or Spark?
No, Spark has lost it on the last lap of the Grand Prix. It's all gone wrong for the number 23. I had to. Had to get it rhyming.
Get that rhyme in there.
Yeah, I definitely did. He's coming round the noseless Force India. He's not nosy anymore. They're finishing line astern in P7 and P8. What could have been if Lee had been up there? Could it have been a Toro Rosso 1-2, AJ?
I mean, absolutely. It could have, like, anything could have happened in this race. It's always treacherous at Singapore, especially in the wet. And yeah, it's just important to kind of keep the car going in the right direction and see where you end up. But yeah, good results from Toro Rosso there. First and fourth, we'll be happy with that.
Now, I have seen this a very irate Ricky in the chat. I don't think he's very happy. I think he thought he made the right choice, and that's just how it went. The weather went differently, and for the first time ever, we have a podium. I think for the first time in a long time in SFR. Sorry, we have a podium with none of the championship protagonists in it. There he is, a Welshman, an Englishman, and Racer turns up on the podium. And I can't remember where Racer's from. I know his name's Steve, but there we go. For the first time ever, Zippo raises that cup, excitedly happy, and Toro Rosso now one apiece with wins in SFR.
I can't believe that. I called it.
Very happy, AJ. Here we are with the official, unofficial results, barring any stewards' inquiries. Zippo in P1 ahead of Ricky in P2. Racer is in P3 and Linnell is in P4. I'm West started where he finished in P5. T Jones Championship leader no longer in P6 ahead of Spark Bobster in P7. Gaming Things is in P8 and Die Boost in P9. C Pasley was the last finisher and the last point scorer. Blood and Sands did not start the Grand Prix because Racing Podge DNF'd, Pro Oliver DNF'd, Farfborough crashing out, Smelly Badger crashing out, Connor crashing out, and Blaz MK causing an incident, therefore crashing out. What a race, AJ.
It was just, had everything. There was only a few laps in the middle where we weren't kind of focusing on the racing and more on the fish and chips. But, from start to finish, there was many twists and turns, and I don't even know whether the drivers suspected rain halfway through the race. Some people ended up stopping for a second set of tyres before the rain started to hit.
Well, let's get these three into it. I know, but hopefully these two will join us. Excuse me while the screen goes blue for a moment. The colour of Toro Rosso for the first time since Spa. Toro Rosso on top. Who are we looking for? We're looking for. Is Zippo hiding offline again? He is. He's hiding offline. That's very helpful, Zippo. Thank you, dear. Who are we looking for? Ricky. See if Racer can join us. I'm quite hurt. I don't actually have Racer on this account. That's a bit annoying.
We could add him. He's right there.
There we go. I've sent the invites to the 3, and we'll see if they can join us. So that's Stephen. I'll have a word with Stephen in a minute. I'm gonna have a word. I will. See if these 3 can join us. I know Ricky will probably join us. He always does. So, there's Racer. Stephen, why don't I have you on here?
I don't know, we seem to bump into each other every day,
We do. Is your voice set to share, mate? Alright, so if you could just do me a favour and look in that. Do you know how to do it, or I'll run you through it? It'll be in party settings, but also you need to go to audio sharing settings.
Yeah, go to the main settings on PlayStation.
Oh, main settings on PlayStation.
Yeah. So it's under sharing and broadcasts and settings. And then broadcast and audio sharing settings, just turn them all on. I don't know which ones are which.
Yeah, cool, don't.
Alright, so Racer's done. Zippo, your voice set to share?
Yes, they are.
Alright.
I was going to say he's so excited he's unplugged his mic.
By the looks of it, okay. Racer, don't look at the chat for a minute. Let's focus on the good race so far. By the looks of it, I don't think Racer. Don't comment, mate. Don't comment. This is a genuine rule now. Don't comment about that. So let's focus on the race. I don't think Ricky is. Oh, Ricky is joining us. Hello, mate. Is just to make sure, mate. Your voice is set to share, right? Did I lag there, or did anyone else hear him?
No, I heard you.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard.
Alright, sorry. Alright. So let's start with Racer actually, as he was third based on the standings. Racer, going from provisional pole position to second place to then 7th with the 5 pace grid penalty. You didn't expect this, did you?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what was going on, to be honest, because he's like, stop, don't start, don't stop. And then I seen that he said something that he had lag, which I probably put it down to anyway, so it's fair enough, it scored it for me a bit, which put me down to the grid. And then on the first lap, everyone was just crazy for it down every single corner, and that's what my comment was about, not him actually. So it was the fact that everyone was just taking stupid corners and risks and just smashing into each other. I'll share the video in a bit because it was a bit crazy. So, but yeah, I'm happy to get the podium. I mean, I knew it was going to rain in the race before it even started, and when I was doing the weather check, it was saying that it was only going to be wet for like 10 minutes. So I just tried to tiptoe around. Luckily, my tyres were okay at the end.
So, you said it was a little bit crazy. In what respect? Was people a little bit? Were they as bad as they were in the first race? Well, bad as they were, quote unquote bad. Were they just launching off a line the same as they were in the first race? A little bit like, oh, we're back to racing. Still got that racing boy spirit in the back of them.
It's at the end of the first DRS zone, so you had like cars coming from left, right, and it weren't even like safely overtaking. It went straight in. Like, it's hard to explain. I'll share it with you in a bit and you'll see what I mean. Okay,
so looking forward to next race. This is your first time on the podium with us, actually doing a podium chat. Next week we've got what comes on to Singapore. Give me a minute. Next week we have Sochi. Are you looking forward to Sochi?
Yeah, I'm racing Sochi a little bit later actually, so it's not one of my favourite tracks. I overheat the tyres like crazy, so I need to try and sort that out.
All right. So, AJ, any questions for our third place man?
I can't think of any at the minute.
All right. So we'll we'll leave Racer for a moment. Maybe AJ will think of one in a minute. His limited brain power focusing only on fish and chips right now. And we'll move on to second place man, Ricky. Ricky, how are you doing apart from those words that you mentioned earlier?
Extremely annoyed.
I see where you're coming from. As you said in the chat to me, you said that it went from sopping wet full race, full extreme wet conditions to intermediates in one lap. I mean, you got to say that's the worst luck possible there.
It was the right call. It was at the time. Because I was actually playing on it and I couldn't get on the 2 inches, so I had to go wet.
So, I dread to say... Go on, AJ.
Did the race engineer tell you to go onto the wets?
Yeah.
Or was that was an engineered decision?
Yeah, he told me for 3 laps to go on the wet. And then he ignored him.
Yeah, I ignored it for a few laps and then I had a huge moment over the Anderson Bridge, so I was like, right, this is the lap I'm pitting. But ideally I wanted to wait to see what second place did, but I just didn't want to risk the win. And from slop like that, it's just sickening a bit.
Well, that's Jeff for you. We have tried to get him fired, but for some strange reason, every F1 team quite like him.
I was actually absolutely coasting to that win. Absolutely coasting.
This is a normal point when I'd ask Ricky, because I've had Ricky on here a lot recently, so I try to run out of questions. This is a normal point where I ask him if he could have done anything differently. I'm deciding not to ask that question because aggravation levels. So I'm going to ask him, what did he have for tea last night?
I don't think I had anything to do.
Not making that joke, which is in my head. So with Sochi next week, are you excited to go to Russia?
No, not after tonight. Fucking no. I don't want to fucking look at the control pad.
Alright, so Ricky, my advice with this situation, I've been in your place with this one, is just take a few days, relax, play other games, watch telly. It'll come back to you, and you'll come back with racing spirit next week. Or you can race tomorrow in the Prem division if you want.
I can't make it tomorrow.
Boo, work. All right. So we'll leave Ricky, and commiserations on second place, but also congratulations on at least finishing in the podium.
I thought I was going to lose first, second, to be honest.
See, now don't say that. Racer will be very happy. Let's.
I was never kidding you, Ricky. Maybe 1 or 2 more laps, but.
Mate, my tyres at 88 degrees, they were no grip whatsoever. I was losing at every corner.
I was on like 70-80% on rears though, so I had no grip really.
Debating tyres here. You know what? I think we should end it there, AJ. What do you think? Should we stop it there?
Shall we?
Oh.
You think Zephyr will be slightly irritated by that?
Oh, I guess. Do we have time? I guess we will. Okay, let's bring. Come on, Zippo. Come on.
Hello.
How was that? Are you happy?
Yeah, I am actually. I think I'm more happy with the fact that Ricky was like 3 tenths behind me at one stage, and then next thing I looked, he was about 16 seconds behind me. So I was, and considering I had a 3-second time penalty as well, I was getting a bit concerned when he got to 4 seconds behind me, and then. Yes, the weather took a good turn for the good, and the Inters came alive again. I mean, I think my Inters were on, must have been, I don't know, 75, 80%. So, I was happy. I was happy.
So, with the most condescending comment ever.
Which was
so it's like talking to his cat.
Are you happy? The thing, I'm terrified right now because I don't know how he's going to react. This is his first win in SFR. He could have been jumping off the roof for all I would have known. He could have been going mental. So I was very gentle. Now that I've seen you pretty chilled right now, is the champagne, was it good? Because I know that they've been replacing it recently.
I've got to be quiet and keep it quiet because the little man's asleep. So.
Oh, the future SFR champion's asleep, is he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So this draws you level with your teammate with 2 wins apiece. Do you think
I've
now?
only got 1 win.
Well, yeah, 1 win apiece, 2 wins for the team because I'm blonde right now. With that, do you think that's enough to have Toro Rosso re-sign you next year, or do you think you're going to be looking elsewhere for a different drive?
I don't know. I like the Toro Rosso. It suits me, so I like it there. Got a good teammate, so.
Well, it's all getting fantastic now. Anything that could have gone better at all from that? I mean, you started outside the top 10. You literally halved. You've gone straight up to P1. That is a dream race, there, isn't it?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I think everything just played into my hands. The weather definitely played into my hands. The fact that the wets went well. Every time it kept telling me to go onto wets, I was looking at Ricky, wondering what he was doing, and I said, if he goes onto the wets, sorry, then I'm going to go onto the wets. And then just as Ricky pitted, it said to me, light rain in 5 minutes. I thought, no, I'm not going to risk it, I'll just carry on. I'm not aquaplaning, I'm comfortable. I kept the gap at 16 seconds to him when he was ahead of me. I wasn't losing any time on the inches, sorry. So I just kept going, turned the diff down, broke by myself, and just carried on racing.
So, next week, coming off a win, are you going to try and go for it in Sochi? I mean, I personally know you're fast in Sochi. Are you going to aim to be back on the podium, or are you just looking to see where you are versus everyone else?
Definitely podium. I know I can make a podium at Russia. If the race goes my way, I know I can get on there. I was only 1 place off in a previous race, so I can push on. I think I'm more suited in this league anyway, so let's see why I can't.
Well, we'll leave the very calm Zippo, who I think is going to hit him maybe tomorrow when Jensen's awake. It might hit him, but he is a race winner in SFR. Well done, Zippo. Well done to all 3 of the podium chat for joining us. So thank you, all 3 of you, for keeping it nice and, well, I say mellow, keeping it nice and, I mean, a bit moist. I should probably wash the floor now, shouldn't I?
I don't know what that means.
No,
they're wet.
It's just one of JB's puns again, isn't it?
Okay, Ricky leaving. So that's time to do the little outro as we always do. AJ, I mean, what are we thinking? 10 out of 10 race here? Was it 10 out of 10 chips as well?
Solid 9.5. I'd go 5 on the chips. I don't know about the chips, but the race was much better than the chips was.
I should hope so.
So next week we'll be going to Russia, but before that we'll be going to we're gonna let the Premier drivers loose here in Singapore. Obviously, if any of the Premier drivers are watching, they've learnt from tonight, and if any of the Gp2 drivers are wishing to take part, well, SFR admins have acquired a team, so we are able to put a few Gp2 drivers into that to level out the grid to try and create more interest in the Premier Division. But if you're not willing to join for the Premier Division, like AJ, we'll be seeing you next week in Russia for the Sochi Autodrome Grand Prix, for one of my favourite tracks actually in Formula 1. Any passing words, AJ?
Thanks for watching.
Go to a different fish and chip shop next time.
Yeah.
What? Not his oven? Not his oven? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oven chips, yeah. Alright, so if you've enjoyed the stream, please leave a like and a little comment. It helps me feel better because I'm the one that also reads them. If you haven't liked it, we'll put in the comments why you didn't like it and why I'm an absolute fool talking about chips and cats for the last 5 minutes. I will see you next time on SFR with probably a different commentator, or maybe the same commentator, who knows. We will see you next week or tomorrow for Singapore or Russia. My name is JB, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra, guys.
Yeah.